So, man, this is my second video I want to do about people who side with the aggressor, okay? Not the person who's defending themselves. You have people in this society who always take up for the person doing wrong, okay? For various reasons. They have their sacred cows, okay? They don't care what their sacred cows do, they just gonna take up for them. So, there was a group of teenage boys in my neighborhood, and this happened years ago, and they were running around robbing people. They were taking money, cell phones, MP3 players. They didn't care. Anything they could get their hands on. They just didn't care. So one day I'm on the way to work, and a group of teenage boys come up to me, and these guys were actually bigger and taller than me. These were no little teenage boys. They was actually bigger and taller than me. I'm about 5'8", 5'9". So these some of these dudes was taller than that. So give us your money. I don't got any money, man. Well, give us your cell phone. No. Give us your MP3 player. No. So we're gonna take it. So they attacked me. So we got into a fight, and I popped two of them in their face. Yeah, I punched two of them in their face. Got some good solid hits off two of them, and they backed off. Okay, they backed off. Now, the thing that actually happened after that is a thing that really shocked me. Okay, so on the way home the next day, I had a woman walk up to me, an older woman. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're disgusting. You're a vile human being. And I'm like, well, miss, who are you talking about? She's like, you punched my son in the eye. I said, whoa, what son? So, oh, your son is one of these guys going around robbing people in the neighborhood? She said, that son? Yeah. I said, so you're aware that your son is running around with other teenage boys robbing grown adults, okay? Robbing other teenagers and adults. You're aware of this, that they're attacking people. A group of them are getting together, punching and kicking and attacking men and women. I don't care. He can rob you if he want to. And I told her, I said, you know what, miss, you're sick. No, your son cannot rob me if he want to. He cannot rob anybody. He's not allowed to do that, okay? And I said, that attitude, I said, I hope you're going to be running around here crying, talking about my baby, they shot my baby. I said, when your son gets shot, stabbed, or put in prison, you're going to be crying about it. But you didn't raise him worth anything. You didn't teach him anything. You're not trying to restrain him. You're sitting here making excuses for him, okay? And then there was a guy with her, but he didn't say anything. But I could tell he agreed. But then I had another person. I was at work who I was telling about that situation. He was like, nah, you was wrong. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're fighting teenagers. How dare you fight a teenager? No, here's the thing. It wasn't one teenager. It was a group of teenage boys who were doing this. And I told this guy, no, dude, it was a group of these dudes doing this. It wouldn't matter if it's just one. One teenage boy ain't got no business trying to rob nobody. He was like, I don't care. They teenagers, I don't care. You was wrong for that. You was wrong for that. I said, man, so we didn't have a knockdown, drag out argument. I just told him, nah, bro, you wrong. No, you wrong. He was wrong for that. He got what he deserved, okay? I don't feel I was wrong for popping two of those teenage boys in the eye, okay? They got what they deserved. Here's the problem in this society, okay? You have people who run around and do things that are wrong, okay? And we have their enablers. We have the people who sit up and say, oh, well, because this person's a teenager, they can, or they're a woman, or they're a particular race, or they're in this particular economic group, or whatever the case may be, okay? Just because I like this person, they are allowed to rob you, shoot you, stab you, sexually assault you, break in your house, just do anything, And I'm telling you, I've seen people excuse everything: car theft, um, carjacking, breaking in people's houses. They don't care. Well, it's a teenager. I actually saw some people who were trying to excuse a group of teenage boys for raping a teenage girl. Okay, it's sick. It's very sick. And you have people in this society who will sit up there who have their sacred cows. Well, it's okay for them to go around there and oppress everybody else. Okay. And the only time they'll say anything is when those people meet some type of consequences. That's it. That's all they care about. when they're individuals, the individuals that they care about who are running around acting like demons, 'cause that's all they doing, engaging in their demonic behavior, when they get some punishment, okay, that's when that person has a problem with it. That's the only thing they have a problem with. They don't have a problem. And those three adults didn't have a problem with those teenagers robbing everybody else. Yeah, they're cool with those people robbing everybody else, physically assaulting men and women, physically assaulting other teenagers. Yeah, taking their stuff. Yeah, the only time they had an issue is when they got some consequences from their actions. Okay, they got mad because I popped them in their face. Okay, so the baby Capones got hurt trying to rob somebody. It's crazy, and we live in a society who pushes that. Okay, no, bro, you don't have the right to rob somebody, to physically assault them, to sexually assault them, to steal their property, to break in their house, break in their car. I don't care whether you a male or female, um, a teenager, an elderly man, elderly woman, whatever. You don't have that right to do that. Okay, and unfortunately, we have people who worship certain segments of human society. Okay, um, like I said, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I don't care who you are, what your race, male, female, sexuality, whatever. But I'm not gonna sit here and excuse you oppressing somebody else. I'm not gonna sit up here and excuse you attacking someone or trying to steal their stuff or hurt them in some way. You know, consequences happen for consequences exist for everybody. Okay, not just one group of person. Okay, not just one type of people. Okay, I don't care if you're a male, you're a female, teenager, rich, poor, whatever. You go out there and you try and rob somebody, hey, they may shoot you, they may stab you, they may beat you, they may beat you down, okay? You may get arrested. Consequences, man. It's just sad. You know, it's sad that this is the mentality that we got certain people who have people that they worship and they're sacred cows they feel can do anything they want. But those people are wrong. I don't care. I don't care if the person's even one of these guys who was telling me that told me I was wrong for that. I believe was actually a preacher. Yes, he told me I was wrong for defending myself against these young baby Capones. That I should have sat there and let them punch and kick me and just beat the brakes off me. Yeah, but that to me, man, that's a demonic mentality. Okay, that you're going to excuse wrongdoing because it's somebody that you like. Oh, I love teenagers. I love the elderly. I love young people. I love women. I love rich people. Or I'm very compassionate for the poor and less fortunate. That doesn't mean that somebody who's poor and less fortunate gets to go out there and rob somebody or break in a crib. Nah, man. Nah. I'm sorry. Okay. These people, something's wrong with them. But no. Consequences exist for everybody. If you are doing things that are wrong, and you get shot, stabbed, beat up, put in prison, you brought that on yourself. Okay. Anybody who tells you that we have special classes of people who can go around and oppress people, and that you are wrong for defending yourself, that person is trying to pull a Jedi mind trick on you. Okay. Ignore these people. Okay. Just my thoughts.